What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kevin, and I'm back today with some more Mortal Kombat 11 content. I do hope that you guys don't mind that today's video doesn't have my normal edit of me with the background behind me that transitions over into this. I'm making some adjustments for the stream, which is a good thing. It also means more content is coming out, but I'm trying to make some graphical changes for the summer. As you can tell, I've got a somewhat new logo in the top. My aesthetic's a little different. It's going to fit the same theme. I'm very excited for it. That's not important today. I did tell you guys I was going to cover the second half of the patch notes, which was mostly covering the Shao Kahn buffs and the Sheeva nerfs, which are albeit small, but just enough that a lot of Sheeva mains that I know have put her down over this and refuse to play her competitively anymore. This is, I can name in my head at least 3 to 4 competitive players or fighting game personalities that I know and talk to on a daily basis that don't believe in her anymore. I understand why. I'm going to tell you exactly why today, and it helps me because I was going to put a video out on Sheeva anyway, thanks to a poll that you guys had answered about a month or two ago regarding which characters are the most difficult ones for you to deal with in Kombat League. Sheeva, I think, floored that poll. So with that said, she's now easier to deal with. I'm going to explain to you a little bit why here, and we're going to cover it more in depth later as to different ways you can answer her. And if you'd like to ask me those questions in real time, of course, as always, you can feel free to do so over on twitch.tv/kevinmcolon, where I'll be streaming MK 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 4 hours at a time. We've got an exhibition event this Wednesday, the Rumble Down Under series, and we're giving out money. Our finale's on June 2nd, so either compete and get a shot at the pot or just tune in and have a blast and enjoy some high-level competitive Mortal Kombat gameplay. I'll be having more events in the fall once season 4 of my Golden Fight League events conclude. As you guys know, I tend to talk a lot. Let's go over it. 2 main changes to Sheeva. One of them, I don't even have to touch the controllers to explain to you, but I will explain to you why it's more important than it is for other characters. Sheeva, if you've noticed, has 950 health. Now, I know in a lot of cases, that seems like a slap on the wrist. When Jackie Briggs got nerfed a while back around Aftermath, 2 main changes were made to her that seemed to matter, and it was the fact that her back forward 2 was now an actual punishable special move, which is fine. Now it acts like every other special move that's like that in this game. It was actually weird that it wasn't punishable from the game's inception. And 2, that she got knocked down to 950 health. And a lot of players have different opinions on this as to how much it really matters. You know, as you understand, 50 health in MK relatively translates to 5% of a smaller health bar, which for other characters, for someone like Jackie, I'll be honest, doesn't really make a difference. Cetrion and Joker got nerfed to 950 health, and I don't think that's gonna knock anybody off of playing Cetrion or Joker. But for Sheeva, why does it make such a big difference? Well, Sheeva is what we consider in fighting games to be a big body. If you don't understand what a big body means, characters in the game basically take up different sizes, and we refer to them in 3. Baraka would count as an average size fighter. You would have someone like Shao Kahn and RoboCop, who are large, they're big bodies. And then you have what would generally be most of the females in the cast, and in some situations, Joker and Collector would also kind of qualify as thinner, smaller bodied characters. Sometimes if a character is lanky, it could work a difference into what we consider them to be size-wise. But this is all based around the character's hurt box. Now, if you don't understand hurt boxes, it's not something we can physically see right now, and I don't have a PC mod of MK that can show it to you. But hurt box is essentially where does the character actually take damage. For average size fighters, you know, it makes a difference. For smaller fighters, it's one of the reasons on female characters it's harder to hit them with certain combos, or you have to adjust the combos that you do because their hurt boxes are so small for someone like Scarlet that normal combo routes won't hit her. She technically won't be there to come into collision with your hitbox. So for Sheeva, Sheeva is one of the big bodies in the game. If you haven't noticed, this bitch thick, okay? She's a pretty tall drink of water, if you understand what I'm saying. I know a lot of friends personally who have been like, man, I wish she would stomp on me, and that's their own fetish. I'm just here to talk about how the game works. But this does mean she's susceptible basically to taking more damage than the average character, because she's bigger. You can hit her with combos that you normally wouldn't be able to hit smaller characters with. So having smaller health to begin with as a character who's technically easier to hit because she's so damn huge makes a big difference for Sheeva, because again, this girl thick. So normal moves that, again, wouldn't collide with someone like Scarlet or Jackie or Katana will more often than not collide with Sheeva. There's a very small tech I found in the game where it actually benefits you to be a big body, and it's one specific Jackie Briggs confirmed that I found that tested with the cast. Sheeva also counts as a big body who manages to benefit in that one situation from it. Outside of that, it hurts to be a bigger body. It's the reason characters like Shao and Kotal and RoboCop tend to have more health, because they're a lot easier to hit. And now Sheeva has the opposite problem. She's easier to hit and has less health. So that's horrific for her. 2, which is the other main change. This is going to be a pretty short video. Her stomp is horrendous now. And now this is the thing. I do want to explain to you guys that in most Mortal Kombat games, this is how her stomp functioned. So it's actually nice to see it go back to what I'm used to it being. And it takes away a lot of the fear of dealing with Sheeva. But let's go ahead. I'm going to just record her doing stomp, and then I'm going to hold block. So she's going to block as soon as she can, right? So you'll see just walking away now takes away most of the threat in either direction. Another thing you want to notice is she's incredibly punishable. Look how long it takes for her to land and then be able to block. That is a pretty long time. Watch it again. And block. That's how long it takes, which means I can practically be over here and I can still get a punish. You, in fact, have so much time. I can do a full jumping 2 if I was good at the game and I didn't miss it. If I was good at the game and I didn't miss it. If I was good at the game. I could do jumping 1, but I'm stubborn. Okay, hold on. I'm going to give it one more shot because I did test this before we started recording. There we go. I could do a full jump 2, but to make my case a little easier, I'll do a jump 1. It has a better hit collision arc. That's guaranteed. And in fact, there's other tech that I would say, and I don't mean to pick on people who go for this advice, but my goal here is to try to educate you guys when it comes to fighting games on the realism of what it takes to become a good competitor. I've heard a lot of players say when theory crafting how to deal with Sheeva Stomp, 1, why don't you just walk out the way? That is a lot more real now than it was before, okay? I do want you to understand that before this patch, it was not as simple as just walking out of the way. You basically had to dash because the hitbox on her stomp has been reduced. Meaning before, something like this would have hit me. It's been narrowed, and so now it won't. It's very similar to the difference with big bodies, small bodies we were just talking about. Now, Sheeva's move is essentially treating me like I'm a small body. It doesn't collide with me the way that it used to. So walking away is a great option. And in fact, any character, which is most characters who have a counter hit crushing blow, can now almost use it for free anytime they get out of the way of stomp. Combo into whatever you want off of that. That's going to be great for a lot of characters. The second tech that I usually hear from players is, why don't you just down to it? I saw a Sonic Fox and or Ninja Killer down to it before. Why can't you just do that? Again, wasn't as easy as that. Now, it's still not 100% consistent, and I wouldn't recommend wasting your time down toing it when you could just as easily get out of the way and do a combo, which is way more effective and in a lot of cases will net you more damage. But down toing it is a little more consistent if you're stubborn and you want to practice doing that. And of course, I always encourage you to do what you find fun in fighting games. And if landing the down 2 on the Sheeva Stomp is going to give you the big, warm, tingly, giggly, feelings, then you can practice it now. And it's going to be a little more consistent than it was before. It's also going to depend on your character and how strong their down 2 is. One of the reasons I chose Baraka for today's video is because he has a pretty excellent one. And I'm going to try, we'll see how many attempts it takes me. I will usually trade, but if I time it correctly, I can actually down to her once I'm out of the way and get conversions off of that. This is a lot more possible than it was before. And then try to get that conversion if I can. You do have to hit her at the peak of it though, and for most of the down 2 tech, you'll have to do that. Ideally, you can always hit it too early and take the trade. Of course, it's too early where you just get hit. Like if I just do this, I obviously will get hit. If I do it way too late, I'll get hit. There's a sweet spot where you'll at least either trade with her, like so, or you'll land it correctly, which I can't seem to get now. That's not the one we want. I practiced this. Come on, there we go. and start getting some conversions. And that's going to differ depending on the character that you're playing and how strong your down 2 is. Baraka has a very good one. Jade, as we all know, has an amazing down 2. Sindel, really good one, depending. Startup is a little weird. Joker, very solid down 2. Shao Kahn, really good down 2. All will be able to deal with this pretty effectively. There is other tech that we can use. Of course, for Baraka, there's always going to be something like the Blade Spark tech, which will be able to deal with it pretty consistently as well. And I am of the mindset that if you want to contest with this is going to be a better option for you. You can even do it twice. And for the record, if you want to do something like this, what you're looking for is the screen shift. You notice how the screen moves to me? So she's going to go up, the screen's going to adjust. I'm looking for about when that happens and trying to react to it. And then get whatever, you know, little conversion it is that I've practiced. I haven't gone through all of the options with Baraka, but he has some pretty fun ones. I can even do this into this if I think she's going to break away. I could be a whole demon. And you see like how far it will go. She's basically not even on screen. And we clipped her out of the air. There are other characters that have universal techs that will still work pretty well. Melina and Katana with their telekick. Raiden has double teleport tech. This is all stuff I'm going to cover in a future video. I just wanted to discuss today basically the nerfs to Sheeva. And again, this stomp is horrendous because look at that. 66 frames of start. If she lands, she's in 61 frames of recovery. So the second she hits the floor, I have 61 frames to hit her. To give you an example of how long that is, I can still hit her. So you have, or you know what? I just realized this. Mathematically, you have a full second, which in a fighting game is very rare, just so you understand. There are 60 frames per second, and you have 61 frames to hit her. So you have a second and a little bit of a fraction of the next second to punish her for doing it. And you should be able to do it pretty consistently. There is still going to be the issue of enhanced drag and drop. I'm actually going to double check to make sure I even have that on her. And I'll be honest, I forget what the input for it is because I haven't played Sheeva in a while, but I believe, oh my God, look at how many options she has out of this. Well, this is Dragon Stance. Hold on, I'm an idiot. Drag and drop. Okay, yeah. So she'll go behind, and then obviously if I go to walk behind, I'll get caught because that's the read that the Sheeva player is making. But of course, there's still this tech. The only other problem that she really has is the delay on drag and drop, which has also been adjusted before. And I have to look at this again to just remind myself how to delay it in the first place. Just hold L2. Perfect. Before, the big problem was that she could basically delay this any length of time between these two. Now she's set to a fixed delay time, which means you can react just to the screen shift consistently. If she doesn't come down immediately, you know she's not coming down for a while. And that is not something we were guaranteed before. Now, of course, having to guess on this is going to be annoying because obviously she's guessing we're going to move back, we're going to get clipped. That's still going to be part of it. I'll discuss ways with you in the future that you can deal with that and ways that you can detect which side she's going to be on, for example, when she does this. You see even here, we managed to flip her inputs. I'm walking forward and she's readjusting herself. There are problems with stuff like this. There are ways to deal with that and recognize it when it happens. We'll discuss that in a later video. But Sheeva, you know, she's been pretty touched up. I don't think you're going to see her in Kombat League as much as you did before. I think good and bad thing. I think good because man saves us a break. Bad because I know a lot of players that are going to switch off of Sheeva, and I like watching people work through the difficulties of their character. I enjoy doing it as well. It's one of the fun parts of fighting games for me. For those of you Sheeva players that are going to stick around with her, who find new setups, who find ways to deal with the changes that have been made to you, who don't consider Sheeva a dead character because you just enjoy her for who she is and you like the character more than you care about being able to abuse Stomp, as fun as I'm sure it was to abuse it, and you still kind of can. That stuff we'll discuss in a future video. Again, I'm going to keep pitching that video because it's going to come out. Let me know how you feel about this. It's going to be a little more difficult for you. I will be honest. It's not going to be as easy as it was before. I'm not going to get clipped as much as I did before, and you better have enhanced Dragon Stomp on, because if you don't, if you can't make me guess on your stomp, you die. With that said, guys, that's going to be it for today. Those are the Sheeva nerfs. More videos coming out soon. Again, aesthetics. Thank you guys for sticking it out with me. Thank you guys for supporting the content. I cannot tell you how much it means to me to turn on YouTube every day and see the multitude of compliments that you guys give me on these guides. It makes me feel good to sit down at the computer and know that this content's being appreciated. You guys are what I'm here for. I will see you soon. Have a good one.